Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. I'm Rebecca and today we are going to be doing something different. Well, a little different. So I have been lacking in the creativity department lately, mainly because school is crushing my creativity, and I will talk a little bit about school in this video and a little bit about just life in general. And I know I seem to do this in every single video, but today is the start of a new era when I only talk about this once a month, and the other videos will stay on track and stay on topic. But this video is kind of just me talking about stuff, and I will also be talking about the artwork in general, and because I needed this project to make me get more creative. So I've decided to do an animals in space thing. It will give me practice drawing animals in my style. For example, this is supposed to be a red husky, but it kind of looks like a fox. So I've called it the red husky fox mix. So that's what it is. And in a purple suit, which I realized after I had colored in the suit purple that it was probably not the best idea to color the suit in purple when the background has a bunch of purple in it. So it still works in the end, but I should have either made the suit lighter or not made it purple in the end. So I know that it's kind of like backtracking on something you already did, but just for future reference, I know that I should have made it darker in the first place, or made it lighter in the first place. And yes, you are not mistaken. I was using a food tray that you could cook lasagna in for a light box with my ring light underneath. So let me talk a little bit about my process. So, and the things I was using in this video. So, I am creating a space animals thing, like I said before, where I, every month-ish, every other month, or maybe every 2 to 3 months, I'm thinking, I will do one of these videos where it's kind of just me talking about random things and just spewing things that pop into my brain and talking about the artwork and telling you a little bit about what's going on, what's happening. Yeah, so let's just talk about the main thing that you're seeing right now first, so I can just point out the obvious. You just saw me use a light box to outline this thing. We're gonna call it the red husky. The red husky. So the red husky was just outlined in Prismacolor and Arteza pencils. That's what I used. And I am using Mo's Art watercolors for the space background, but then for the red husky, I use Arteza's wash, which I like very much. As you can tell, I really like Arteza things. In fact, the paper I'm using is Arteza brand watercolor paper. So I'm a big fan. I would love if they sponsored me one day, and I would be so proud because I love their products. They're really affordable and they work just as well as everything else. So why not go cheaper for this? Like, the quality drops a tiny bit, but the amount you pay for what you get is spectacular, and it's fantastic, and it's just amazing. And I think that everyone who is an artist and who's not like really sure about things yet should get Arteza brand stuff. Even if you are sure about things and you're just trying out a new thing, they're a great place to start, or a great place to just be in general. Even if you're making work for like a living and stuff, like, it's a good brand. It's a great brand. This is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just truly just vocalizing what my opinions are about the brand, and if I had something bad to say, I would. So, well, I will say this. Sometimes you will get, like, okay, so like a lot of things, their colors don't match the tubes. So, like, it will be a minty green on the tube, but then inside it will be like super dark, and you'll be like, what the heck? And it's not that it needs to be watered down or something. It's just generally not that color. So, just, I'm informing you guys, the tubes do look different, so please look at the color of the paint before you use it. Like most people, I feel like nobody doesn't look at the color of the paint, but I'm just informing you. And these are my first gouaches, and I'm very impressed with them. This is my first time doing this little illustration with gouache, and I mean, the background isn't gouache, but you know, the main centerpiece is. And if you're wondering why I even bothered with pencil lines, it's basically because I like to have an outline that matches the color that I'm going to be using inside of it. So even though I paint on top of the outlines, I still like to have them there. I don't really know quite why, because I just like it. I just like the way it looks. I like how well I'm doing it in the process. I'm not like annoyed by the fact that there's color there that I don't want there. And it also helps me to remember where each of the colors go and not accidentally paint something there that I meant to paint somewhere else, like the color. You know how sometimes when you have just black outlines or gray outlines, you'll do that? That's not what I wanted. So it helps me. And yes, you could use like Crayola colored pencils to outline instead because it's going to be covered up, but I decided to use the little bit higher quality ones. Well, the Prismacolors are a lot higher quality, and some of like the Arteza in a way, because they're quite claimy for like, you know, cheaper brand pencils. But I once again, I have to reiterate, this is not sponsored, because it sounds like it's a brand deal, and it's not. I'm just giving them free promo because I love them. Okay, moving on. So you might be wondering, like, why do you need to make a whole series to spark your creativity again? And that is because, just in general, like I said before, school is crushing my spirit, crushing my soul, crushing my everything. And no, I'm not in college. I'm in high school. I'm in my sophomore year of high school, so that means I'm in 10th grade. And then that means that I still have a year, like 2.5 years left to go. And I don't want to do that. So I'm trying very hard to convince my mother to let me quit. And no, I'm not going to quit and then go off partying or whatever. I want to quit and then get my GED, which is a graduation equivalent diploma, which is basically you take this test and they give you a diploma if you pass. And so you have to get a certain score. It's just like school. You have to make sure you have enough knowledge to get this thing. And I'm 99.9% sure I will definitely pass. The 1%, that little thing back in my brain that gives you that doubt. But in this, I am not doubting anything. And I am so inspired by myself in this, like, because I like learning. I don't like that school is making me hate learning. Okay, so I know a lot of people are gonna think that when I say I don't like school, it means I don't like learning, but I really like learning. I like learning about new things all the time. I will have something pop into my brain, or I will hear something and then I will go research about it and learn about it, but I don't do that anymore because I just got so tired of listening to things that I didn't want to learn about that I didn't want to learn about anything anymore, which is kind of just how school works in general. It's kind of just making you learn things you don't want to learn because you have to, which makes no sense. Why would you have to learn about something you don't care about? Like, I get it, science is good to know and all, but really only biology. And if you're going to go really far in biology, that means that you actually care about that. And I feel like it's the same thing with earth science, which is what I'm taking currently. I don't care about why volcanoes erupt, and this is not to say it's not important to some people, it's just not important to me. Like, what I would like to learn about is I would like to learn more about horse care and how to do taxes rather than how to divide a shape into 6 different shapes. And currently I'm doing geometry and it is not fun. And it's not like I'm doing bad, it's just I don't like it, and I know this sounds like complaining, because it definitely is. I am not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about the fact that I don't like it, and I think high school is really unnecessary, and I do not, and this is going to sound really awful, I don't respect my high school teachers. And I know you're supposed to respect your elders or whatever, but sometimes your elders are wrong, and I don't respect a lot of their word choices and the things they say. Especially my math teacher, because they like to say that you need to know this. You're never going to have a calculator when you're at the grocery store. And now we have phones. Literal calculators at our fingertips. Everything at our fingertips. And I'm not saying that you need your phone, but what I'm saying is high school teachers shouldn't say that, because you're not teaching me basic math. You're teaching me stuff that people would need to know if they were going to be a mathematician or going to be in something that has to do with building or something, or figuring out the diameter of like 16 different buildings and how many buildings you could fit into there after you built the 16. I'm not saying that's not important information to learn. I'm saying that it's only important for some fields of work, and I don't want to be in those fields. And I don't think people should have to go to college. And I know some people are going to be mad at me that I said that and be like, what do you mean it's not important when people go to college? What do you mean? And I'm just like, it is important for people to go to college. Some people want certain jobs, but it shouldn't make you any less qualified for a job if you went to college. I'm sorry, but if you're really great at animating and you didn't go to college for it, chances are you're not going to get in somewhere in the work field, because you're not classically trained in the art of animating in a art school, college, which, you know, it sounds great and all to be in college, but I don't think that's how it should be. I think people should take you on your qualifications just in general, not your academic score. Because think about it, if you do really awful on your SATs or on your MCAS, you aren't gonna get into the schools you want. And that's not because you're bad at learning or bad at life. That just means you're bad at taking a test. And I feel like life is a test, and sometimes we're gonna fail it. And sometimes you're not gonna do that great, and that's not to say that I'm failing things. I'm not failing anything. And I don't think a lot of people are failing. But I think in general, we need to be more understanding of the fact that some people just aren't good test takers. Some people aren't good at writing things down. Some people are good at remembering things that are in their brain. Some people can't communicate through words on a page. Some people have to say them. I am one of those people who cannot tell you or embody a story the way I can when I talk to you, rather than on a piece of paper or in my computer through an essay. I feel like really the only true art form I do right now is YouTube. And that is not saying that my art doesn't mean anything to me. It's saying the art form that I do on YouTube is communicate what I want to say to everyone. And I know a lot of people don't watch me, and I know a lot of people aren't subscribed to me. And I really do appreciate everybody who is, because I am saying things and you're listening, or maybe you're not. Maybe you don't care, and that's okay, because really all I ever wanted was to communicate, because I don't talk to very many people, so I think this is just a great platform to do so. And with all that said, I do want to tell you about the video next week. Next week's video will be a sketchbook tour on Friday. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. That's going to be the 6th sketchbook tour, which is a very confusing sketchbook because it doesn't start off like the other ones. It's really interesting, and I happen to like my more interesting sketchbooks because they don't really start off normally. They don't start off with a cover page. They kind of just start off doodles, and they have a date at the bottom because I remember to put a date. And there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. As I said, I was going on vacation last week, and I'm going to Florida, and I might vlog a little bit. I'm not going to vlog full time and hard, but I'm going to try to vlog at least a tiny little bit because I think it'd be kind of interesting for you guys to see into my vacation. I'm not going to bring you everywhere, but I'm going to bring you some places, and I hope you enjoy it. And this is the end of the video. I'm adding highlights, and my favorite thing about this is probably that little star because it's just so smiley and cute, and I'm just adding these little highlight things for a little touch of something more colorful. Yeah. It's kind of strange just looking at how much I like this because I was really inspired for a really long time. So I hope you guys like this video. And thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!